Back, slicing through the noise with a culture attack. Pop culture films in the world we see. Deleted scenes where the truth runs free. Take care, stay strong, we're breaking the mold. Be safe, stay healthy, let the story unfold. From watch parties, reviews to the news we spin. Deleted scenes, yeah, this is how we win. Take care, stay strong, we're breaking the mold. Be safe, stay healthy, let the story unfold. From watch parties, reviews to the news we spin. Deleted scenes, yeah, this is how we win. Yeah, yeah. Speed up on your YouTube, bro, let's roll.
All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen out there in YouTube land. I am Deleted Scenes, human being American, and YouTube Ronin, and I'd like to welcome you to my review of Mutiny. All right, well, as you all know by now, this film was leaked onto Amazon the day before the film was meant to be released in theaters. So it got out over the net, of course, and has already been pretty heavily pirated, which is going to unfortunately hurt box office. Hopefully, the filmmakers and Lionsgate and those who had the international rights, who are looking to lose a pretty good chunk of green over this. Hopefully that there's something that they can do legally to at least get some of their money back. I think that's partially why the movie did not do as well as perhaps it should have over the weekend. It did okay. I can't imagine that the budget for this was too high. It does have kind of that mid-range budget feel to it. So if it doesn't get its money back domestically, there's still international. We'll see what happens there. And of course, there is still video. So we'll see what happens. I do want to first off say hello to everyone currently following along on X. I can't see you, but I know that you're there. Want to say hello to everyone here in the live chat with me. I do see FKHC 2005, sometimes known as Tim. I do hope they sue for this one. Indeed. This is a space mutiny? And is I hear your name blast our cheese? No. This is a very different mutiny. Okay. I'm not planning on being too long with this review. I'm not going to go into a 3-hour oratory over over the film. I'm already going to be on a show later tonight that's going to be discussing it. So I'm going to say my piece there. All right. So here is the basic story. Mutiny. It is directed by Jean-Francois Richet, who was also the director of the remake of Assault on Precinct 13. He was also the director on Plane with Gerard Butler, and Blood Father with Mel Gibson and William H. Macy, and Erin Moriarty before she was Starlight. And this also, kind of along the same lines as those films, very much an action film. Very much a Jason Statham movie. He does star in this, along with Annabelle Wallis, who you might remember from *Malignant*. Roland Muller, who was the villain in *Skyscraper* with The Rock, and Nev Campbell. So some familiar faces here. Statham plays Cole Reed. He is the bodyguard for a billionaire shipping magnate. And of course, like most action heroes in a movie like this, he has a certain set of skills. He was a before his life as a bodyguard, he was in the Royal Marines, served in Afghanistan and Iraq. He was, after the military, he became a cop in London alongside his father. There is a raid that goes wrong. An officer is killed. He gets blamed. And of course, he has to leave. He has to leave the Met because of that, and because the repercussions of that, and because also, he made some enemies with the mob, because of this raid. So the film, at the beginning, you find him in Bangkok. And like I said, he is now the bodyguard for a shipping magnate whose life he saved 5 years before. The guy hires him, and they become friends. And the early scenes with them really do show the friendship. They really do become. It really is this kind of father-son relationship between the two of them. Despite the fact that the shipping magnate also has a son, but they all get along, The son even calls him brother at one point, you are my brother. I see you that way, So they are very, Sarid has very much found this new family within, with this shipping magnate and his son. And the shipping magnate decides that he is going to sell the business, leave everything in the hands of his son, and it's very much kind of like Inception with the Fishers, Anyway, get that out of your mind. It's very much so. So the father decides that he's going to sell this company, and there's this big kind of going away party, kind of retirement party for him. And on the way back home, Statham, Reed, the shipping magnate, they are ambushed. And Statham is the only one who survives. He's basically framed for this ambush and for the murder of the shipping magnate. And so he very quickly finds out that one of the men involved in the ambush works for the shipping company, and that he was supposed to ship out that evening. So Statham assumes his identity, since they do look, at least at a glance, somewhat alike. So Statham takes this man's identity, gets on board the boat, and stalls away on board the ship. And this is when we get introduced to Annabelle Wallis's character, who's Angie Ellis. We find out very quickly she is planning to go back to LA, where she has a daughter. She's divorced, has custody of her daughter, because of some issues with the ex-husband. And so she's trying to get back to her daughter. She is called up by this company. You got to come in. You're still probationary. You don't come in, you're fired. So she has to go on this mission. She has to go on this voyage, and we find out that she also has this military background. Never been in combat, but she's been in the military. In the Navy. So she knows her way around boats as well. And so it's kind of this intercut, him hiding out on the boat, trying to find clues to what's going on, who is responsible for this. And it's intercut with her meeting the crew, meeting Raymond Muller's character, Marco Madsen, who is the captain of the boat. And they both, in their travels around the ship during this one evening, they both come upon this trailer full of people who are being they're being trafficked from Thailand into the United States. And so that's the big piece of the puzzle to what's going on. So very quickly, things the fit hits the shan, and the crew is involved with this human trafficking. And Ellis is not down for it at all, and makes an attempt to call this in. This ship is under attack, because at this point, the villains have become aware that there is somebody who is not on their side, who is on board, who is, of course, Statham. And so they don't know that it's exactly him, but they know there's somebody on board who is John McClaning their way around the ship. And this is very much along the lines of like Die Hard. It's very much Under Siege, really. It's kind of like a mid-budget Under Siege, really. Don't people are comparing the movie to Die Hard. I completely get it, but it's closer in a lot of ways to Under Siege. And in the attempt to send out this distress signal, a U.S. Navy vessel who is commanded by a character named Adam Spencer, who's played by Adrian Lester. You might remember him from He's actually British. He does a pretty is a fairly decent American accent here. If you ever saw the movie Primary Colors, where John Travolta's playing basically playing Bill Clinton, he's Adrian Lester is like the co-star of that film. He's basically like the lead character in that movie. And you might remember him from a TV show called Hustle. That was a British series that was kind of a precursor to Leverage. So in case you're wondering, where have I seen this guy before? You might recognize him. Like I said, there are a few familiar faces in this movie. So basically, from that point on, it's kind of this cat and mouse game between Reed and Ellis against this the bad guys who are on this ship, and then a little later on, they are joined by basically this group of pirates who are the people who they're selling these people to. And basically kind of goes from there, really. And it is very fast paced. The film is just over an hour and a half. It's 95 minutes. It's I think I clocked it around 88 minutes without the closing credits. So it's pretty fast paced. You get your 20 minutes or so of setup, and the setup scenes are paced pretty well, and you get to know these people, and you get to care about them. You get the sense of who the bad guys are, and Madsen, the villain, he's no Hans Gruber. But he does have some charisma to him. There is some menace there. And you can tell that there's a potential that he could take Statham out. So he is a worthy opponent, in my opinion. So like I said, it is paced very well. It's directed well. There are a couple of moments where you're thinking, "Oh, that was kind of a stupid move," but there's not a whole lot of that. This is not a movie that's out to win. This is not a movie that's out to win any Oscars. This is very simply an action star making a movie that is in his wheelhouse. Jason Statham, and I'm not speaking out of school, he has said this himself in interviews. He's not expecting to win any Oscars, okay? And he's not going to with this. This is not a movie that's made for that, okay? This is an action star who plays to his strengths, who made a movie that his fans can appreciate. And this is exactly what it is. If they had made this movie in the 70s, it would have been Charles Bronson in this part. And that's the kind of movie that it is. And ever since the first Expendables, I have considered Statham to be kind of the second coming of Charles Bronson. So, and if you think of the Expendables as the Dirty Dozen present day, as Dennis Miller called it, if you think of the Expendables as the Dirty Dozen present day, then Statham is very much Charles Bronson in that scenario. So this is kind of what it feels like. This is kind. I know there are people who are saying this movie is kind of a throwback to like 80s and 90s action. It's in a lot of ways kind of a throwback to the 70s too. Because this movie does not scrimp on the blood and the gore. The action scenes, the fight scenes, they're very well done, and they're bloody. And they're hardcore. This is a movie that earns its R rating, folks. If you are a fan of action films, you are not going to be disappointed by this. The action is well done. It's well edited. It's well shot. It's well directed. The acting is not bad. I would say there's no weak link in this movie. Everybody knows what kind of a movie that they're in. They play to it. They give the material its respect. And if you go in with that kind of a mindset that you're watching essentially this mid-budget take on Under Siege, then I think you're really going to enjoy it, and it's really a shame that it got leaked, because like I said, that's going to hurt box office, but the film on its own, I think, is worth seeing. I had a blast watching it. I've seen it twice already. And without going, like I said, I don't really want to go too far into spoilers for people who haven't seen it yet. But it's a good film. So Statham is 2 for 2 this year, because I liked his previous movie as well, Shelter, which is a pretty good film. More grounded and character-driven than a lot of his movies are. Where does Mutiny fall in his movies? Well, I would say that it's definitely a movie that you can watch on the big screen, and you're not going to be cheated out of anything. If you choose to wait until streaming, that's fine too. But see it. It is worth the watch. And I think that you're going to have fun with it. And like I said, it's only an hour and a half. So you're not wasting any time. And I've talked about this with other YouTubers, of having more movies like this, these kind of one-off hour and a half long movies that are just entertaining. They're not Oscar bait. They know what they are. They're not woke. They're not talking down to you. There's no big message. I mean, the main message of this movie is, if you kill Jason Statham's friend, he's going to kill you. If you frame him, he's going to kill you. And if you are a human trafficker, he's going to kill you. That's the message of the film. This movie is very simply Jason Statham giving very bad men some very bloody and much deserved deaths. That's what this is, And Annabelle Wallace's character holds her hands up pretty good too in this, and so she makes for a pretty decent sidekick. And we know from Malignant, that she can kick some butt too. And yeah, guys, I dug it. I like this movie. Now my tagline for this review is it more of the same or just what we needed? And does this break any new ground for Statham? No. But that wasn't the point. The point was to make an entertaining film with a hero that you like instantly, and you're with them all the way. And you get to find out just enough about his character to make him interesting and to make you care about him, and to make you care about a few of the characters before they start getting killed. And it's a good film, guys. I liked it. If you choose to see it at the theaters, I don't think that you're wasting your time doing that. If you want to wait for streaming, fine. But I am recommending the film. It's not trying to reinvent the wheel. It's not going to win any awards. It's just an entertaining film. I when I was on the movie review app Stardust, I started following a guy there, and he had what he used to call a pizza and beer movie. And by that, he meant that you could hang out with your friends on a Saturday night, get a pizza, get a couple of beers, and have fun watching a movie. This is very much the definition of this movie. This is a pizza and beer on a Saturday night, hanging out with your friends, watching a kick-ass little movie. And for me, it worked on that level. So I am recommending Jean-Francois Richet's Mutiny, starring Jason Statham. All right. That is my review. Thank all of you for listening. Join me if you are a member of Troy Pacelli's channel. I will be on the panel tonight for Last Call Members Night at the Movies. So you can join me there. I will also be hosting the Mystery Movie Night podcast tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Obviously, I'm here with you, so that movie is not being shown in my area, but some of the members of our crew are seeing that film, and whatever it may be. And hello to Connie Cleary. Good to see you. So you can join us tomorrow night for the Mystery Movie Night podcast, 7 p.m. 8 p.m. No, I'm sorry, 8:30 p.m. I will be joined by Troy Pacelli, Netters Network, and Aged Boomer for the next episode of Live from Sparkwood 21, where we are going to be watching episode 17 of season 2 of Twin Peaks, entitled Wounds and Scars. And later on in the week, I will be joining Outlaw Bill for the next episode of Action Theater. And we are going to be watching the science fiction classic from 1956, Earth versus the Flying Saucers. And then you can join me later that night at 11 p.m. Eastern for the next episode of my program, Coming attractions. We get to find out what I am going to be doing next week. Oh, that's quite all right, Connie. That's it's all well and good. I understand. All right. So that is my review of Mutiny. I recommend it. Check it out. So, as I always say at the end of every broadcast, from HQ and all points north, south, east, west, and beyond, good night. Take care, stay strong, be safe and healthy, because this is how we win.
It's even not Neuronins back, slicing through the noise with a culture attack. Pop culture, films, and the world we see. Deleted scenes where the truth runs free. Take care, stay strong, we're breaking the mold. Be safe, stay healthy, let the story unfold. From watch parties reviews to the news we spin. Deleted scenes, yeah, this is how we win. Take care, stay strong, we're breaking the mold. Be safe, stay healthy, let the story unfold. From watch parties, reviews to the news we spin. Deleted scenes, yeah, this is how we win. Yeah, yeah. Steve out on your YouTube, bro, let's roll.